G'day, punters.
G'day, punters.
Episode 3. Finding winners galore here on the way in, I might add, before we kick things off, mate. Spacewalk. Not good for the strategy because it knocked us off on destination, but the listeners of the way in that might not be members, they had a nice little fill-up on the weekend.
Yeah, he opened up very short odds, but he got out to probably about his right price, and he was too good with the claim for Reece Jones.
He was. We were at Rosehill on Saturday. That was the 28th of January. Geez, this month has gone quick. We're already nearly February, the greatest month of them all, in 2 days' time. Happy days.
Is your birthday or something in February?
It is my birthday.
Okay, yeah, it's good racing.
Day after Valentine's Day, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's why he's such a...
Love is in the air.
Yeah, that's right, right.
Yeah, but we've got winners to find, don't we? We won't harp on about that. Mate, yeah, the rail was out 5 metres at Rosehill on Saturday. Track played, I thought it played reasonably well. How did you say, mate?
Yeah, very fair.
Yeah, compared to this day last year, it was a really leaders bias.
Yeah, well, we were on a few leaders and they didn't get the job done. So, I wouldn't say there was a leaders bias. I think it was fair. I think they were winning from all parts of the track. So, probably I think maybe like lanes 3 to 8 might have been the places to be.
Yeah,
I think that's where most of the winners came down. So, yeah.
One horse we did find, mate, was Maria Mia in the Expressway Stakes. Usually we put the sort of special mentions at the end of the show, but I think being the feature race, the Expressway last weekend, we might start with that and kick things off. And it was our sole winner for the day as well, for members only there, Maria Mia. A lot of people said it was a 2-horse race. You were happy to be against that theory and back the horse on the third line. And, mate, a bit of an outlandish statement from you, Maria Mia. She can win a big race.
Yeah, I think she's the Galaxy horse. I think she's in her second preparation for Joe Pride. She put together a couple of wins last prep, but she wasn't the same horse as she's come back this time in. She won well first up. I remember the interview with Joe Pride saying that he didn't really expect her to win first up, and she did a terrific job because she got flushed out 3 deep and she got the job done. That was the race that Spacewalk was a little bit unlucky in. And this time around, this race has gone unbelievably well. They went about 9 lengths above benchmark to the 600 and they zipped home. So 10, nearly 11 lengths above benchmark final result. So she's gone super. She was given a rev up to get out of the gate. She found the perfect spot. It was a really good ride by Tim Clark, finding the right spot on the back of a good speed. And then she just let down like a jumbo jet. So in a race like the Galaxy, she's going to come in with absolutely no weight on her back. That was standard weight for age, so she's going to be well placed under handicap conditions.
Joe Pride won the Galaxy a couple of years ago with Eduardo. Obviously, he had probably a little bit more, a few more credentials and the runs on the board at that stage in his career. But I think you said to me after she won on Saturday that Joe Pride is the best trainer in New South Wales.
Yeah, so I think I'd definitely stand by that statement, no doubt. Yep. He's a superstar trainer, so I'd suggest that they're pretty similar horses, not in regards to their ability, but
sort of time and place.
Yeah, well, Joe got Eduardo as an older sort of gelding from Melbourne who showed plenty, but he wasn't the same horse that he's been with Joe.
No.
And then he's got this mare who's an older type of mare, and she's come down to Sydney. As I said, she's in her second prep for Joe now, and she's just airborne.
Airborne, yep, that's the right word. Have a look around, punters. There's a few different markets there for the Galaxy with her different prices. I think maybe $13 best around.
We did just see $13, so I think that's a good price. Behind her, the runs behind her, Golden Mile was good. I thought he was slow to begin. I thought it was always going to be a little bit short of his best, but the market sort of just held him pretty firm, and he was within striking distance on the corner. I know that he had to be used up a little bit to find his spot because he did miss the start, but she ran away from him over the concluding stages. So he's gone well. He'll get plenty of benefit out of that. But the race has just gone very fast for him over 1,200 metres first up. So he can definitely improve. There's runs in behind him, much better. He's a benchmark horse. This is the weight for age. He's gone super. Nicolini Vito found the line really well. Pissarro, he's going to win races. This race is just going to produce plenty of winners.
Yep, 100%. Obviously, I suppose the disappointing news out of the race, Forbidden Love, 3-time Group 1 winner. She was disappointing in the race, and then they came out that afternoon and said that she'd pulled up 4 out of 5 lame, and then Stable came out on Sunday morning and said that she's been retired. So she was a bonny little mare, wasn't she?
Great mare. Yeah, she was a great mare.
I could never catch her, but
she was good to me. Very good to me. I think every time that I've backed her, she was right in the finish. I was with her when she went on that winning streak this time last autumn,
yep.
And I think I stood to, if she had won the Doncaster, I would have won a fortune on her. And she was backed as if she was unbeatable that day.
Yes.
So I think they went up about $5. She might have started.
Did she
somewhere
draw
around that
park?
6 to 4?
And they still backed her off the map.
Yeah, she didn't draw the car park. She drew. I think she drew like a
14
middle gate or somewhere around there. Yeah, but like. Everybody thought that she was going to go forward, which she did. She cruised into the race. She just didn't run the trip out. I was sort of the opinion that she was a different mare last preparation, and she was going to get a chance to run 1,600 metres right out. And the market did expect that. But, she's going to be a champion broodmare now. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yep. Mates, we've got 3 horses to follow out of the meeting anyway, that you're really, I suppose more keen to follow than the rest of them. We'll start off in race 6, a mare by the name of Hasty Duchess. This horse comes out of the Midway. It was over 1,350 metres, won by the Nathan Doyle pair, as Darren Flindell pointed out at the 100, both for Blue Blood syndications too, so owners had a fill up there, no doubt. But this horse ran 6. Jason Coyle for Robbie Dolan on board, beat 2.5.
Yeah, so this isn't one that is just going to win wherever they put her. This is one that I think that the market could potentially miss. She was they spec'd her here, so she was $26. I know there might have been 100 to 1 around earlier in the week. I thought she was good first up, finding the line really late. I thought. She'd be 1 run short here, and the draw was kind of awkward, so she was going to get back a fair way. But I did really like the way that she found the line. So she got warm late. She was no match for the Quinella, of course, but she did. She wanted to lay in over the concluding stages as well. So I think she's just ready to peak third up. Yep. If she can draw an alley in the right race, another midway, maybe 1,400 metres, that'd be perfect, because she's got the ability. She's got some big figures on the board from previous preparation. She was about 290 days between runs prior to this spell, so she was going to need these first 2.
Yep. And
I'd suggest that she's ready to fire third up. So if they go up 30 or 40 to 1 in a similar race, I'd be keen to have something on.
Lovely. That's Hasty Duchess out of race 6 at Rosehill on Saturday. We'll move on to the next race. And this horse, we're only 3 episodes in, and he's already got 2 mentions. But this time he got the monkey off the back, really, for a horse like this. Spacewalk. He was too good in the benchmark 88 over 1,200, beating Destination and Colino. Easy in the market, but mate, we sort of went back and watched the replay, and it didn't really look like Rhys Jones had to touch him with the shillelagh at any point, did he? He just sort of gave him a few flicks and away he went.
Yeah, he wanted to over-race early in the piece, so Jones sort of went forward. Dehorned Unicorn was putting on the speed, so he landed sort of a length or 2 behind Dehorned Unicorn, ended up on his girth, coming into the home straight, but he over-raced and he was a lot more forward than most people expected. Previously to that, when we identified him, he was a bit stiff getting back off the speed, but I thought he was outstanding. He just travelled into the race like a really good horse. And then when Jones asked him for the effort, he just let down, and then Jones just sort of waved the stick at him, and he'd done enough to win the race. So I think he can go on with the job. They've gone 8 lengths above benchmark overall here, so the race has gone really well. The horse that we backed, Destination, I didn't know if we could beat the winner We had the Quinella. We had something on the Quinella. What did that pay again? 20? Was that 20 to 1 or something?
Or something like that.
Yeah. So I thought that horse would turn the tables on Colino. Colino was rock hard in the market. This horse was sitting there at around $16. He was getting a 5.5 kilo weight swing from both of his last two starts, and he hadn't had the best of luck. So I thought if Spaceboy was going to get out the back again, which was probably, he was probably going to be closer to the lead speed than he was at his previous start. But if he did get out the back, he's a horse that has found trouble in the past. He's a horse that shied away from the stick in the past. He's a horse that's lost a race on protest. I thought that $2.10 or $2.15 that was available in the morning was a bit short. He got out to more backable odds closer to the jump time, but we don't send our tips out closer to the jump. So, I was happy to be on Destination. He ran well, but the winner's too good, and he can win a really nice race, I reckon.
James Cummings in the Godolphin camp, they're often one to, when it comes to mid-October with the race like the Everest, to wait a long time to sort of lock and load their horses. Could Spacewalk be a horse that sticks his hand up in, well, I suppose we've still got 6 or 8 months' time, really, to say, hey, I'm a genuine Everest chance? Well, maybe not a winning chance, but Godolphin, they don't necessarily have superstar sprinters in their stable. He's certainly one. They
do have one. They've got one now.
They've got one. Oh, well, the filly. But
in secret. Yeah, in secret. I think
they've tended to dodge it with fillies, though, haven't they?
Yeah. I don't think they've probably had one as good as
I think Alize did run in the slot, but
I think he's a good horse. Whether or not he'll be potentially an Everest contender later in the year, it does depend, I guess, where In Secret goes. But I think she'd be the top seed. But he could win a race like the Newmarket. Well, could he win a race like the Newcastle? He could run very well in a race
at Sandown.
Yeah. I think
the Galaxy is probably another suitable.
Yeah,
target.
I definitely think there's that's probably your three options. You got a Galaxy, you got a Newmarket, and you've got an Oakley Plate.
And the other race that we probably haven't even really mentioned once there, and Godolphin do it a little bit, is a race like the Doomben 10,000. Weight for age, 3-year-old. They did it with Paul Ailey. He just got beaten by Marzu.
Yeah, well,
last year.
I definitely wouldn't say no, because he's not a weight for age sprinter now, but I know that's a weight for age race, but it's not your top tier weight for age horses. So yeah, I wouldn't say no to him coming up here and being competitive in races like that. But yeah, maybe a Stradbroke as well. You wouldn't know. If he races like he did on Saturday,
Biscuit.
Yeah, who knows? If he races like he did on Saturday, he's probably going to be suspect of 1,400 metres. But if he can learn to settle in the next few months, maybe they run him in a Galaxy, then put him away and bring him up here.
Bring him up. They did with Paul Ailey, so
something like that. Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure he ran in a Galaxy and a TJ, and then came to Queensland.
I think he did too. I think you're right.
Yeah, gelding as well, isn't he? He is. Yeah.
I think you might be onto something there, so I'll be interested to find out.
No doubt Sheikh Mohammed and James are listening.
They probably are.
They probably are. They go, you know what? Good judge, these two. Let's pencil Spacewalk in as our Queensland Carnival horse.
Either that, or they'll just put a pen through those races and move on.
You know what? We're going to go to Melbourne. One more race we want to cover, mate. It is the last race of the day there at Rosehill. Taken out by Think About It, who, again, Joseph Pride, Sam Clipperton, the horse is absolutely airborne. And again, story of the afternoon, we tipped the horse that ran second at double figures, but the horse that ran third, Super Pursuit. I think your comments off air were shit of a ride.
Yeah, it was an ordinary one by Reece Jones, but I guess that's why you get 1.5 kilos off their back, because he's an apprentice and he's going to put in more ordinary rides than a bloke like James McDonald. But that's not hard, because James is the best in the business. Yeah. But I would say not what I ever want to see. How a horse should be ridden. Like, he began well in a very slowly run race, and they dragged him back to near last, and he was still getting dragged back well into the race, and then didn't get onto anything's back. He wanted to lay in, but then when he did get out, he did produce the second best last 200 metres of the day. So it was a super run. It was a race that it was going to be impossible for him to win. They've gone 10.5 lengths above benchmark to the 6. So, and then they've zipped home in 5.8 lengths below benchmark there. So they've just gone too slow for him to get into the race. And he's run super. So yeah, I think that was his 4th run in Australia. If he can draw an alley in the right race, a similar race, he's going to be winning very soon. Yep. I will just mention the ride on Four Valor. I didn't think that was a very good ride either. The horse led at a very comfortable speed, and then between the 6 and the 4, you've got a race where there's 9 runners. Is there 9 runners? No, 8 runners. 8 runners. He's produced the 7th best sectional between the 6 and the 4. So he's had an easy time in front, and then he's given up ground to his rivals between the 6 and the 4 when the horse has had a seriously easy time in front. So that's not what you want to be doing when you're on a fit horse. So he was staying at 1,350 metres. I'm talking about Four Valor, and I'm talking about Brett Perrill. I think that he should have quickened. I would have been surprised that he wouldn't have had a top 3 sectional there in the race. So I would have quickened there, and I think if Tim Clark rides a horse like that, he wins the race.
Yep, it was. I think you made similar comments after the race on Saturday as well. If Tim Clark was on, it wins.
I have no doubt about it. But that's no real knock on Brett Preble. He's sort of just got to Sydney, and he's probably just sort of learning the ropes around here. But you got to quicken up at the right time there.
Interesting that you mentioned Super Pursuit as well. The start prior to that, he ran 5th in the benchmark 88, taken out by Maria Mia. Midwest ran 2nd, Spacewalk 3rd. So we've seen 2 subsequent winners come out of that race already. Super Pursuit run huge and run 3rd there. Midwest goes around in a benchmark 78 at Sandown on Saturday over 1,000 metres. So that's interesting because it came 2nd there as well. So.
Yeah, we backed Midwest too.
We did, yes.
Yeah, might be interesting to see
how much that form continues to stack up, because I think the Horned Unicorn, he's probably met his mark, I think, now in that grade.
Yeah, I would think so,
but
no doubt.
he ran reasonably well, I think, behind Spacewalk, so form for a 7-horse field in a benchmark race.
Stacking up.
That's right. Doesn't matter if they're Group 1s or benchmark 60s, a $6 winner's a $6 winner, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Nothing to leave the punters with there, mate. There's the few horses to follow. The Expressway Stakes, a good race to take out of it this weekend. We've got the Eskimo Prince. Do you want to talk about a couple of these early races that the markets are out for? Yeah,
I've had a bet in the Eskimo Prince, and happy to be on. Af Cabin's gone up $1.80 favourite. Zoo Tiger was up $6 earlier today. I can see that he's gone off a little bit now. He's $6 into $4.50. He's the horse that I want to be with. He's trialled super on 2 occasions. He ran super in a Golden Rose over 1,400 metres. He's the horse that is going to be more suited to sprinting distances. He's going to go forward. So if he draws an alley, him and Af Cabin are going to start much closer in the market than they currently are. So you got a horse like Af Cabin. He really didn't hit his straps until he got to 1,400 metres. I know that he got beat over 1,200 metres in midweek grade, maybe at Warwick Farm. The horse that beat him actually might go around on this Wednesday. Sorry, the name eludes me. But Af Cabin... I think he go. He ran 1,400, then he went back to 1,200, and Jacquino beat him up there. But he did run
beat
well.
him in the Manfred. I think he
was that 1,200.
I'm just bringing it was 12 in the McNeil. It was so he got beat first up half cabin on a heavy 10 behind Miyoshi.
I think it's in on Wednesday. Yep. Might be in the last race on Wednesday at Canterbury.
And then it went to Sandown, blew them away. Went back, got beaten by Jacquino. Then went to the Guineas Prelude and blew them away again. So
okay, he's a really progressive horse, and obviously he was just an improving type last preparation. But I still think they're going to have their eyes on a Randwick Guineas, possibly a Doncaster, those sort of races. So whether or not he's going to be really wound up to be a $1.80 chance in a Eskimo Prince when you've got horses like Zoo Tiger, who's, you could say that he's a nice sprinter. He's going to be a nice sprinter.
Yep, 100%. The way he sort of that golden rose run that you touched on there, Blake. He went super in that race, I thought, and the start prior to that, where he was a dominant winner on a Wednesday there at Warwick Farm.
And they were going to run him. They were going to run him in a race after the Golden Rose.
Yeah,
he was a very short favourite, and they got the downpour and they scratched him.
Yes, because you had a 10-unit play. I don't think it was the Calendar Presnell, but it might have been the Tap Crag, was it?
It was one of those races,
Ridge ended up
he was
winning?
just an absolute certainty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. I think Opal Ridge won it, yeah. Might have been right, but yeah, he was an absolute certainty there. But I think he can return a winner, and I think $4.50 is a good price. So, jump on board.
Yep, Af Cabin only had the one trial, interestingly, too.
Probably.
We saw King's Gambit go under on the weekend with just the one trial under his belt. Typical Snowden, do you think?
Yeah, I'd say that there's no possible way that he could start odds on. You wouldn't think so, unless half of these horses don't accept in the race and Zoo Tiger's not there. But I would be inclined to say that Zoo Tiger could potentially start favourite, but we'll see what happens.
Interesting. Nothing else?
That's it.
Thanks
for listening, punters.
Good luck out there.